Scale AI Donovan is a military analog of ChatGPT that can be useful on the battlefield. It can analyze 100,000 pages of real-time data in few seconds, thus being helpful for the commanders to make a faster decision during the combat operation. It's time for the next episode of War is Algebra. My name is Daniel Sal.
Watch this.
The DSHK is a large caliber machine gun designed by Vasily Degtyarev and Georgy Shpagin. It was manufactured in 1939. At that time, these machine guns were used as anti-aircraft weapons, mounted on armored vehicles, and installed on small ships. They also served as infantry support weapons. Today, it is a means of firepower reinforcement for any defensive position, and is also an effective shade drones eliminator as part of mobile fire groups. Caliber to 12.7 millimeters, weight -33, 5 kg, rate of fire 600 rounds per minute, cyclic rate of fire 80 rounds per minute, firing range 3,500 meters ground targets to 1,400 meters airborne targets.
The Degtyarev-Shpagin automatic machine gun is designed for automatic firing. It has a caliber of 12.7 millimeters. The crew consists of 3 people. It has a firing rate of 80 rounds per minute. The fire is conducted at a distance of about 3,300, at firing points up to 1,600 meters. Armor penetration is up to 10 millimeters at 800 meters. The trigger is very sensitive. You lightly press it, and there you go, the fire starts. So, no need to apply any force. The recoil is weak. Sometimes you don't even feel it.
The DSHK is a very demanding weapon, and it also has its resource, which is often nearly depleted after years of use. Therefore, it requires careful maintenance. This powerful weapon needs to be regularly cleaned and lubricated.
If you lubricate and take good care of it in a timely manner, the DSHK will serve you long and reliably. As for airborne targets, with an anti-aircraft sight installed, it can eliminate enemies at distances of up to 1.5 kilometers.
The DSHK machine gun is one of the main weapons of mobile fire groups for air defense. They are the ones conducting continuous combat duty, hunting for shade drones around the clock.
Watch this.
Standing guard over the clear sky are portable anti-aircraft missile systems. One of the most effective manpads man-portable air defense system is the American Stinger. Light and convenient, it can be operated by a single person. It is an extremely effective weapon in the fight against enemy aviation. These systems can destroy planes, helicopters, various drones, and even cruise missiles. In particular, a video showing the destruction of a cruise missile X-101 using the American F-9 Stinger system in the QIV region was shared by the commander of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Lieutenant General Serhiy Nayev. The fighter with the call sign Kupol, which means dome, also has a similar experience. However, at that time, the Stinger missile system was not yet in the arsenal of his unit.
I managed to hit X-101 missiles with manpads. It was in the Sumy direction. However, not with the Stinger manpads, but with the Igla manpads. They are similar, but the Stinger has slightly better characteristics.
The Stinger has been in service since the Cold War era and has already become a legend. Currently, the system is in service with approximately 30 countries. Moreover, for decades, the Stinger remains the only manpads in the arsenal of the US Army. The main characteristic of such a system is the simplicity of aiming and high lethality. In other words, it is possible to quickly teach any infantryman to aim correctly. Attach the battery with argon for cooling the thermal homing head, and shoot. Another feature is that the Stinger is a one-time use system.
The manpads is designed to destroy airborne targets with reactive and turbojet engines, particularly under clear skies. Here is a high-explosive incendiary with a thermal homing head. The range will be 4,500 meters. To destroy the target, it needs to be at least 10 meters above ground level. To achieve this, the gunner activates ground power, opens the sighting device, removes the front cover, aligns it with the target, tracks it, then makes a capture using the corresponding buttons. The self-guidance head automatically captures the target, emits a sound signal, and then you can launch. However, it is necessary to continue tracking the target to avoid losing it.
Stingers are particularly valuable in forward positions, especially when the main air defense systems are insufficient or cannot be deployed.
If there are two airborne targets, the gunner goes to a combat position, launches a missile at the first target. After that, if he needs to hit another target, he detaches the launch mechanism from the manpads, uses a new launch tube, places it nearby, attaches the launch mechanism to the new tube. There should be another power source in the kit, which he activates, then resumes target tracking and takes another shot.
Portable air defense systems like these are obtained by the armed forces of Ukraine through military assistance from countries supporting Ukraine in resisting Russian military aggression.
Watch this.
The Strela 10 anti-aircraft missile systems help defend the Ukrainian sky as part of mobile groups, and are also deployed directly on the front lines. We operate unmanned aerial vehicles UAVs with this particular system. We have mostly targeted Zala UAVs. They are easy to work with, as there are many of them. They fly at low altitudes and are likely cheaper, so they are frequently deployed. In terms of difficulty in shooting down, the Orlan UAVs come next. Our crew has already downed 3 of them, and our battery in total, for units. The most challenging target we've successfully brought down is the Supercam UAV. We've managed to shoot down 1 of them, both as a crew and as a battery. It's difficult to bring down because it doesn't stay in one place and flies very quickly. The Strela 10 is a complex design for visual observation and destruction of airborne targets at low altitudes.
In theory, we can hit a helicopter that is located at a distance of up to 5 kilometers and at an altitude of up to 3 kilometers. However, based on my real experience and work with drones, it suggests that the effective range may be much shorter. A drone can only be shot down by a missile if it has a size, wingspan, of several meters and flies at a distance of no more than 1.5 to 2 kilometers.
The missile is guided towards the target using a passive optical or infrared channel. The launch unit is mounted on the MTLB armored transporter, and it can accommodate 4 missiles.
There are up to 4 missiles on the launcher at once, and an additional 4 missiles can be stored in the rear. However, due to the frequent artillery shelling, only 2 missiles are kept on the launcher to avoid potential damage to all of them in case of an attack. As mentioned earlier, their quantity is relatively limited.
The transition of the installation from the marching to the combat position takes no more than 20 seconds. The complete reloading time varies within 2 to 3 minutes. It takes 3 minutes to fold the active combat means, but the most important thing, as emphasized by Ukrainian defenders, is to identify the target.
Even though the vehicle is based on the MTLB, meaning it is mobile, it is primarily designed to provide cover during an offensive, protecting tanks or other vehicles. In other words, it was predominantly developed to cover the movement of vehicles during a march. However, based on my experience, this weapon is more effective when the target is stationary rather than in motion. When the target is stationary, we locate the enemy UAV and start working on it. The most time-consuming part is typically finding the UAV itself. Conducting a search from the vehicle itself is quite challenging, both for the operator and for me as the commander.
The commander of the anti-aircraft missile unit emphasizes that although the complex is somewhat old, it has its advantages, particularly the capability to operate in a photo-contrast mode.
Photo-contrast is a mode that allows us to shoot down electric drones. Missiles used to intercept enemy targets operate in infrared mode, responding to heat. Their targets include Orlan UAVs with gasoline engines, airplanes, or helicopters. All of these emit heat during operation. We primarily shoot down these enemy targets near the front line because they rarely manage to penetrate further. Our vehicle allows us to operate against electric drones, including complex targets like super drones, for example, providing us with a significant advantage. Launch. Narrow beam. Approach. Detonation. It's falling. Falling. The target is destroyed.
Watch this.
Using the military equipment and skillful Ukrainian soldiers will stop the Russian evil that wants to spread throughout the world. War is algebra. Stay tuned.